Today we are going to see purchase order. PO. PO stands for purchase order. Purchase order consists of a document header and number of items. A purchase order is a formal request or instruction from a purchasing organization to a vendor or a plant to supply a certain quantity of goods or services by a certain point of time. It is the first legal agreement between the supplier and the buyer from for procurement of material based on certain items and conditions. Procurement type is defined for each of the document items. Following are the document types. So procurement type can be standard, subcontracting, consignment, stock transfer or external services. Delivery of total quantity of material specified in the purchase order item can be spread over a certain period in delivery schedules, consisting of lines indicating the individual quantity with their corresponding planned delivery dates. Conditions can apply at various levels to the entire purchase order, at item level to the material to be supplied, or to the set of services specified. You can There are many types of POs. Basically, there are widely used three types of POs are there. One is standard purchase order, which is very common and almost everybody works on ME21N. T code for standard purchase order is ME21N. Second thing, which is second common, is stock transfer order, STO. Again, the T code will be same, ME21N. Then there can be a contract purchase order or schedule line agreement purchase order or service purchase order. There are other types of purchase order which are rarely used are framework purchase order and dummy purchase order. Let us understand what is consignment process. Consignment means that the material made available to you by a vendor is stored in your company, but actually it belongs to the vendor. Liability towards the vendor only arises when you withdraw material from the consignment store. You take the ownership of the material when you issue to a cost center or transfer it to your own stock. You settle your consignment liability with the vendor monthly. The price and the condition of the consignment procurement process are specified in the consignment info record. So do you remember, like in info record there are info category. So in case of if the material is mentioned as consignment info record, if the item category is mentioned as consignment info record, then with respect to this, then the material will be treated as consignment material. In case of consignment material, below actions need to be performed. Create a consignment info record, create a consignment purchase order, post the goods receipt, post the good issue, and settle the consignment liability. These are the 5 stages that completes the consignment cycle. Next thing is subcontracting. So subcontracting is an outsourcing process in which an enterprise hand over raw material to a subcontractor, to a third party company, to produce or return the final or semi-finished product. The raw components are sent to the subcontractor for manufacturing purpose, and finished or semi-finished materials are returned into the inventory of the enterprise. No records are maintained in the books of account when raw material is issued to the subcontractor. The raw material issued is valued during the stock valuation process and displayed in the stock overview report. Since the material belongs to the company, we are not selling the material. The material is just sent for the partial assembly or some sort of action to be performed. That's why books of accounts are not impacted. Only the material is sent out of the organization, and when the partial assembly is done, the material is imported or pulled back to the company. The material and accounting document are maintained during the posting of goods received, whereas the bill of material and subcontract info record are maintained during the subcontract procurement process. You need to perform the following steps to implement the subcontracting process. Create a subcontracting info record using ME11, then create a bill of material CS01, create a subcontracting purchase order ME21N, and post the goods issue, then post the goods received, post the invoice, and post the settlement. Now, what is third party? Let's see the third party procurement process. In the third party procurement process, a company instructs a supplier to supply the required goods to a third party. The best example is Amazon, where we put our orders and then Amazon places orders the supplier to supply the goods directly to the to us or to the consumer. So in this case, Amazon is the third party. In case third party procurement process, while placing an order to supplier, the address of the third party should be provided to whom goods need to be shipped finally. The intermediate party posts a static goods received in the MySAP ERP system to confirm that goods are shipped to the third party. The process of invoice is same as the procurement process. Now, what is STO, stock transfer order? The movement of stock from one storage location, plant or company code to another is known as stock transfer. You can transfer stock from one plant to another by using stock transfer order, which specifies the delivery cost of the stock. Mostly the companies where the warehouses or production units are distributed across the different geographical locations, the stock transfer order is used. Stock transfer can be created using ME21N and document type will be UB, whereas standard document type is NB. You should enter in item category U as unknown. Post the goods issue and then goods receipt. So finally we have learned what is standard purchase order. Standard purchase order is whatever the standard material that you are going to purchase. So it's the standard way of purchasing. Second is stock transfer order, as we have discussed earlier. Stock transfer is movement of goods within the plant or within the same organization. Then third is contract, where contract purchase order is created, scheduling agreement and services. In PO we have multiple fields and many times these POs are customized based on the company's requirement. But in general, if you see, PO has a header section, item section. So in header section we have delivery invoice, condition, text, address, communication, partner, additional data, organization data, status. So total there are 9 tabs in the header section itself. Now in case of delivery or invoice, it will have the delivery invoice related data, conditions, text, communication, address will have the vendor's address, communication will have the communication address, partner, additional data, organization data, and status will have the status of the purchase order. So initially if the goods receipt has not been done, then status of the purchase order will be PO created only. But once the goods receipt is done, then the status will be goods received. Material data, quality and weight. In items tab we have material data, quantity and weight, delivery scheduling, delivery invoice, condition, account assignment, text, delivery address, confirmation, condition control, purchase order history. So there are total 12 tabs in the item fields. So these tabs again have multiple fields based on the company or organization settings. So let's see the item overview field. Item overview field has item number, account assignment category, material sort text. So generally material and PO quantity, order unit and net price and vendor. These are the important fields to create a purchase order. These are the mandatory fields where we need to maintain the required. These things are the mandatory fields. Without this it will not process, and plant also. Delivery invoice tab will have payment terms, payment in days, payment days in net. Inco terms are international company terms. Import export, when it is involved, then who is going to pay this bills and settlement. GR message currency, goods received message currency, and a lot of fields which we will see with the coming days, like what is the status of the GR, it is active or not yet sent, not delivered, not invoiced. What is the in the status tab or status field we can see active, not yet sent, not delivered and not invoiced. In invoice section we can say invoice received, final invoice, GR based invoice or text invoice. Account assignment category defines the consumption of account in which material value will be posted. If we done assignment account category in the item overview above, then this tab will be open in the entire entry in the item details. If we do not assign account assignment category, then the material what we will purchase, that will go to the stock material. So if we define this, it will be defined in the specified place where we have defined, otherwise it will go as a stock material. What are the item account assignment categories? Again same, K for cost center, A for assets, P for projects, C for sales order, N for networking, U for unknown. If you want to block a PO line item, then you have to go, we can do it using ME22N, which is the, we are opening the PO in edit mode, then going to PO number, select the line item and mark it blocked. In case of purchase order, we can use the following T codes. For creating purchase order, ME21N. For modifying or changing purchase order, we can use ME22N. For displaying purchase order, we can use ME23N. Automatic purchase order, we can create automatic purchase order from PO by ME59N. Release purchase order, we can use ME29N. We can also go to the database table. Table name is EKKO for header section and EKPO for item section. So EKKO and EKPO are the two tables which will have the details of a PO. Next, we will see the different types of purchase order and how to create purchase order in our practical classes. Thank you.